Alright everyone, let's continue on with Elaan of Troyius. On Stardate 4372.5, the Federation starship USS Enterprise arrives at the planet Troyius, the outermost world in the Tellan system, to pick up Ambassador Petri, a green-skinned, white-haired Troyan. He is then taken to Alas, the innermost planet, to pick up the dolmen Elaan, an exotic black-haired, beautiful, but very demanding young woman who is a member of the Elasian royal family. Though she is politically powerful herself, it is unclear who the real power is on Elas, but it is clear that the rulers of Elas and Troyius, the Council of Nobles and the Troyius Tribunal respectively, have mutually agreed to marry Elaan to a royal of Troyius, presumably the king, as Petri refers to him as our ruler, to secure peace between the two before the two planets destroy each other. The Tellan system lies in a border area between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. The Federation hopes this interplanetary royal marriage will bring peace to sway the Troyans and the Elasians toward the Federation rather than the Empire. Elaan is the most reluctant bride, cursing the arrangement that is, as she sees it, setting her up to be married to an enemy. Ambassador Petri's mission is to make the spoiled and arrogant Elaan acquainted with the manners and customs of the Troyans whose queen she will be. Not long after Elaan's arrival and the Enterprise beginning her passage to Troyius at 3% light speed, a Klingon warship is detected in the Tellan system. It ignores all hails from the Enterprise. Captain Kirk is summoned to Elaan's quarters. There he finds Ambassador Petri stabbed by Elaan, who has not been pleased with his attempts to teach her what she needs to learn. The ambassador is rushed to sickbay, where he refuses to have any more dealings with the dolmen and threatens to advise his ruler not to marry her. The job of teaching her what she needs to know falls to the captain. In sickbay, Nurse Chapel asks the ambassador why Elasian women are so prized in spite of their savagery. Petri explains the attraction is biochemical. If the tears of an Elasian female touches a man's skin, he will be enraptured and slave to her forever. The men of Elas have searched for a counter to the Elasian tears for centuries, without success. Elaan does not take kindly to being civilized and attempts to stab Kirk. He overpowers her, disarms her, and chews her out, telling her she will learn what she has been ordered to learn. She begins to cry, saying she is worried that by the fact nobody likes her and doesn't know how to get people to like her. Kirk tries to comfort her, but makes the mistake of wiping a tear from her cheek and is overcome by his biochemical love potion. Elaan and Kirk begin a passionate love affair. Ooh. Meanwhile, one of the ship's watch-standing engineers is killed by Crichton, chief of Elaan's bodyguards, who was secretly working for the Klingons. Crichton sabotages the dilithium crystals that control the Enterprise's warp engines and tries to contact the Klingon battlecruiser. He is captured, but commits suicide before he can be interrogated. Elaan explains Crichton was from a noble family and had loved her. The arranged marriage had infuriated him, and he sold out to the Klingons, partly hoping to disrupt the planetary alliance so he could marry her. Elaan tries to use her power over Kirk to get him to do her bidding. She suggests he destroy Troyius and then become ruler of Elas, but his ethics and willpower are stronger than her biochemical influence. He orders Chief Medical Officer Dr. McCoy to work on an antidote to the power of her tears. Elaan is impressed by Kirk's resolve and makes it clear to him she has deliberately chosen him as her mate. She treats him as a beloved equal, obeying him when he asks her to go to sickbay, the safest part of the ship, when the Klingon battlecruiser attacks the Enterprise. Meanwhile, Chief Engineer Scott discovers Crichton's savage. He reports Crichton damaged the dilithium crystals in the antimatter reactor control system, making it impossible to go to warp or fire the phasers. Without the antimatter reactor, the Enterprise is sitting duck. Kirk, still in the influence of Elaan's tears, manages to pull himself together and bluff the Klingons into thinking the Enterprise is fully operational. In sickbay, Ambassador Petri again approaches Elaan with the royal gifts, a wedding dress and a necklace of large river-cut braid and gemstones, saying they symbolize the hope for peace between their two worlds. Elaan accepts the gifts and subsequently appears on the bridge wearing them, saying if they are all going to die, she wants to die at Kirk's side. Spock detects strange energy readings from her necklace. Elaan is puzzled because, to her, the radiant jewels are common stones. The necklace has little monetary value on her world. Spock discovers that common stones are crude dilithium crystals, which explains the Klingons' keen interest in the star system. The ratings are quickly diverted to Scott in engineering. There, he uses them to restore the ship's antimatter reactor control circuits. Scott and Science Officer Spock work feverishly to replace the damaged dilithium crystals with the crude crystals from Elaan's necklace as the battlecruiser moves in for the kill. Power is restored to the Enterprise just before the Klingons' final attack, and the enemy ship is successfully driven off, severely damaged. Elaan is puzzled by Kirk's decision to cripple the enemy ship rather than destroy it. She asks, "Aren't you going to finish him off?" To that he replies, "No." He knows destroying the Klingon battlecruiser will cause a diplomatic crisis that could result in the Federation's losing the Talon system. The much-changed Elaan is delivered safely to Troyius. Before she departs, Elaan gives Kirk her dagger as a memento, explaining she has learned, on Troyius, they do not wear such things. She and Kirk say their farewells in the transporter room, Elaan's heart obviously breaking. Later, McCoy appears on the bridge to report he has found an antidote to Elysian tears, but it seems not to be needed after all. As Mr. Spock informs him, the antidote to a woman of a last doctor is a starship. The Enterprise affected the captain long before the Dolman did. Yeah, I got that right, Spock. Anyway, let's look at some production elements of this story. Cut from the episode was a scene in the ship's recreation room, where Kirk, McCoy, Uhura, and Spock meet and discuss how to calm Elaan. Uhura suggests using the sound of Spock's Vulcan harp to calm her. The music is later to pipe into Elaan's cabin. This episode features the first appearance of the classic D7 class Klingon battlecruiser, designed and built by Star Trek art director Walter M. Jeffries. The footage of the Klingon battlecruiser was never used in subsequent episodes of the third season. France Nguyen is believed to be the first actress of Yemenese extraction to appear on American television. She had previously starred with William Shatner on Broadway for 2 years in the title role of The World of Susie Wong. This episode is also the final appearance of the original series of Eddie Paskey as Lieutenant Leslie. Aww. Well, a pretty somewhat enjoyable episode overall. I give Elaan of Troyius 3 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me next time for the penultimate episode, Whom Gods Destroy. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.